Go. Well, let's watch this speed run, I guess. Maybe. We'll see. So hey, again, Robbie and Six. Yeah, although I got this run yesterday, yesterday I was too tired, and I also want to get some other things done afterwards, like uploading the run without commentary, rendering it, and stuff like that. So advantage now is I know very little about the details. I just know the big things that went wrong or went right, respectively. So this is, even for me, this is now a whole new experience. I guess. 49 seconds. Let's go. I feel like with the door on the ground, you get more speed if you don't walk off like perpendicular, like 90 degrees, but you kinda run along the long edge of the door. It's really weird. I don't really know what's going on there, but it was fast, evidently. So I guess that counts. Oh yeah, I think that was the fastest movement there ever. Like, there's no stuttering. It was like perfect position. I don't even know what happened exactly. It was perfect roll cancel into max speed. It's absolutely beautiful. So at that point, I knew this cutscene would be very low. Like here, this 157, which basically means the first split is a gold split. Which also means if this PBs, well, that was my thought at the time, I'd have to run against a gold first split, which is a lot of fun. Of course, I'll just be plus 1.5 continuously and constantly. Yeah, but that perfect roll cancel. Life. So another thing I thought about was, since the segmented run, I'm archiving all my local recordings. Like, I have local recordings back until June or whatever. My hard drive is big enough to support that just fine, no problem whatsoever. And I thought about, due to the new splits, the other split, I thought about finally updating the playlist of gold splits, because now I would have them all. The thing is, I'm not sure if that's needed or necessary, because the segmented run exists. So I wasn't... I don't know, maybe I'll do it. It's a bit of work, but I could. We'll see. Yeah, just because the first split here was gold, that's why I thought of that. For some reason. Okay, let's watch this not first try. Oh wait, it's free! Yeah, I'm not sure why I started doing this small war on there. It's what? Yeah, what did I say? I don't remember. I don't know why I started doing the small war on there. I mean, you have enough time anyways. You're on a cycle, and there's absolutely no way you can catch the early cycle. So if you slack off a bit, it has basically no influence whatsoever. The good thing about this 110 PB was that on this split I had 20 exactly even 20 seconds of time save. So basically, as long as the run survived, I would save time here. which is always nice to starting out with a green, even if it's small on, or even if you're on powers, whatever. It's all nice. But I think this attempt was really quick, or rather quick, maybe. We'll see. So what I'm doing here, I basically copied the idea of. Wait. Oh, I'll do the. Right. I'll do the thing with the very far wall run, I think. Yeah, and that worked. It was just so far left. I thought a running wall run would do it, but I had to have a bit of distance away from the wall to get it. Yes. Yeah, that was very much speed involved. How did I turn the camera so quick? Is that possible on controller? But yeah, as I said, like if the run survives, you'll start off with a green here. So if I get past this point, the last days and weeks, it usually is a low 8 torpedo skip split, which is nice to start out with. I mean, I think the fastest I ever got there, like to the torpedo skip, was 7:49 or so. Something like that. And I mean, for that you basically need an absolutely perfect start, really quick door clip, and that's just yeah, it's more of an exception than the rule. Let's put it like that. Ah, torpedo. The movement. Yeah, 7:13 cutscene, so that's like 8:05 torpedo skip. I mean, that's a solid start. Can't really say anything against that.
Who are you? I am Farah, the daughter of the Maharaja from whom you stole it.
This is your fault. No, this is your doing. Sorry, I botched the. Like one of the 3 dialogues you hear in this run. One of the 3 dialogues which play despite the voices being at 0. Which is actually surprisingly nice. Like, if you do enough attempts, you don't really feel the difference anymore, because you don't pay attention to the cutscenes anyway. Go! Yeah, 8:05. Just like I predicted. Insane. How could I possibly have known? Also, I hope I did the cool new movement at the bottom here. Which, as I said last run, I have no idea if it saves time, but it's so cool. That's all that matters. We'll see. I think I did it. It's like that. Jump. Jump. Oh. Yes. I feel like that's just like momentum strats. Nobody cares if that's slow or not, because it's just that nice to do. Cool camera, part 2. So yes, Palace defense is coming up. The biggest thing to implement, the biggest skip to implement at this point would be Palace defense cutscene skip, and I'm actually thinking about it again. Like I'm not sure if I want to do it. I think at some point I just have to play around with it a bit to see if it's viable to implement or not. The problem is just that given the end game, given the last 25 minutes, finishing a good run, I might want to add, is basically impossible these days. Or it's very rare Let's put it like that. It's more accurate. So, adding more strats, and even more so adding more precise strats, because Palestine's cutscene skip is very precise. Just lowers the chance of finishing a run, and as I said, given the endgame, I'm really not sure if that's what I want to do. We'll see. I guess I'll play around with it at some point, and we'll see how it turns out. Also get ready for the skip, which didn't work. Was way too early. That's fine. I actually never got it once so far in the run. I once got very close. Like I thought that was the perfect timing, but it didn't work. I didn't know if it was too early or too late, so that's a shame. Oh, so free. This is actually pretty quick so far. Like 39 cutscene entrance is one of the fastest times you can have here. So yeah, this is all pretty standard up until here. I mean, the run so far, the run is quite decent, I would say. I mean, of course, that means absolutely nothing. But I feel like the early game is at least an indicator of how the run might end up. It's a lot of weird psychology involved here. Also, regarding the matter with the angled ledge, where you can't walk off the one direction but the other one, I'm not sure who pointed that out in my last stream. It might have been Venive. Might have been Gryth. I wouldn't bet on it. I'm not sure, but the point that you have to wait a bit between the hanging first person glitch and getting up, just so the prince can reposition himself and is not slightly angled, I honestly feel like that's it. And I'm not sure why I didn't think of this before, because it's the same for palm tree skip, where you have to wait a bit for the ledge or you'll be angled. The situation is a bit different because you diagonally wall run into the end of the ledge, quote unquote. But it should be the same thing, and ever since that was pointed out, and I'm waiting a bit before getting up from the hanging position on the ledge, it hasn't happened. Of course, the sample size isn't that big to say that, but I feel like that's a solution. Giving the other kinds of evidence I collected over the last few weeks. Like what influences it, at what point it's decided, and so forth and so forth. Looks pre-recorded, not sure. Honestly, I don't think how you could say that. See, I can clap and play at the same time because I'm that good. Place here. So with this fight, funny story. In my 110, this was a gold. In the run before, this was also gold. And I mean, guess what will happen? I will lose 20 seconds. No, I'll can actually guess what happened. With that fight. Oh, with this was a pretty good one. Also, given the new quote-unquote time save with slow-mo killing an enemy, it says like 2 seconds or so. Because you don't need the enemy kills anyways. Carrying the undersweep like a goddamn legend, and then I didn't side roll. I mean, it's quite minuscule, and Dad's attack does basically no damage, so it's whatever.
I'm sorry.
Why?
I know what it is to
Just
lose
nice
a
that
father.
that is in this gold split. Because I think I ended the fight 153. Didn't pay attention now, but that's what I think I remember.
What are you doing? Stop!
And the fastest dead, like the last dead, finished at 155 or so, something like that. So, yeah, it was a kind of programmed gold. Also, nice OBS window which came in there. Yeah, it's like 2-second gold, exactly. So I'm not sure where this correlation comes from between golding a dead fight and getting a personal best. And I don't really want to investigate the causality behind this, given it exists, so I'll just take it for now. Unbeatable gold. Actually, at that point, I should compare a segmented dead fight to this dead fight here, just to see how much quicker or slower it is. I guess it could be a bit faster because you have that slow-mo kill, which you don't have in the segmented run, because you only get the slow-mo at the very end. That's just a consequence of full first fight skip. But yeah, I mean, just curious about the rest, I guess. So the only real mistake until now was a slow first fight skip, which lost like 10 seconds or so due to weird positioning, but the rest was really solid. There was really nothing bad that happened. As I said, the only possible implementation at this point would be Balance Defense cutscene skip, which, as I said, maybe I'll just have a look into that again. What segment it be? I've no idea. Probably somewhere in Zoo. But as the segmented run doesn't have any timestamps, I could only guess. The only thing I timed, I believe, is second sword. Segmented gets second sword at 23 something. Quite sure. And the usual single segment second sword is a 27 something. Like low 27. Oh, it's free, by the way. This trick in 4 sands just works every time. Like a charm. Also, was this a slow one or was this a fast one? Yeah, I think this was a slow one. Yeah. Because my angle was bad. When I pressed W, I was so close to the ledge that he kind of went down. Get hanging immediately. That first attempt wouldn't have worked anyways. I looked too far left, so I was kind of lucky that I failed it. Of course, I lost 10 seconds. 10 to 15. Somewhere between. That's a shame. I mean, that's a mistake in gameplay one can fix eventually. So that's easy time save. But of course, in a 108, these kind of occasions are rare. So if I ever want to improve this, I really have to get a grip on that. Shout out to the Epic Dude guy. Get up, turn around, angle, jump, go. Absolutely legendary. Let's go. I mean, honestly, anything below 20 Zoo is a solid start. Something interesting about the upcoming war run. During the segmented grind, I had a lot of trouble here, which mostly stems from having to do it really quickly. You don't have 2 or 3 seconds to set up like I did there. But if you do that, it's ridiculously easy if you get high enough. Yeah, so it's not so much about the positioning. Of course, it's also about the positioning, but most of it comes from the height of the war run, which I didn't realize before. I thought the position was way more important than it actually is. So I guess I learned something. Nice ladder. Wait, why are there no inputs on my controller? Kind of weird. Almost like I did that diagonal jump with a keyboard. Because it's free. So aside from the slow ladder, this was basically perfect zoo. Can maybe go this by a second or two. But a lot of the golds, that's just a consequence of having like 30 splits. A lot of the golds are getting quite close to the real-time optimum you can possibly hope to achieve. But it's nice when you can't fucking see. That's one of my favorites. And I like even more when the scarabs spread across fucking Africa. It takes 80 years to kill them all. No, nothing. I'm just saying, I mean, Africa is evidently a very large continent, so it was perfect for my comparison. Because this room is just as large as Africa. Okay, so Scarab fight was a bit slow, but that's, I mean, it's okay. It happens. If only you could skip that Scarab fight, man. That would be so cool. Free. Free, by the way. Let's do the Cribbin and failed. Pathetic. Didn't even try. But honestly, it's enough that I got the Cribbin in the last live stream. That was honestly the highlight. That was all I needed. I was imagining doing this rewind trick, which is totally viable and not absolute nonsense. Then again, before elevator skip was implemented, I did the elevator fence rewind trick, which is, I mean, it's basically the same amount of bullshit like this one here on Zoo, so that's fine. Nice hanging one. I thought the bird might snipe me. Got lucky there. It's a good thing if you have 2 cents, you have psychological safety, and this jump is absolutely easy. But if you have no sense, you know, if you fail it, it's over, so you're way more nervous. Okay, so if I keep this pace for second sword, I'll have the what I believe to be first 26 second sword ever done. In single segment, that is. So all I needed is good bath. I mean, to be fair, bath is ridiculously easy to do, of course. Just need a bit of luck for Farah to follow. I mean, okay, that's 95% chance of Farah following with my path. There she is. Now let's get this kind of fun. Oh, I failed. I was way too far away from the ledge. The thing is, she spawned inside me, so I couldn't really move at first. And that was incredibly lucky, but I mean, I guess it worked. So that storage could have been faster, but at least I got it. Of course, not getting it is also an option. And then losing the run over that. Oh, solid. I actually got the one where you keep the momentum. I just never mesh A. I should mesh A, but I never do it, so there's no advantage for me to gain there, sadly. Okay, no bow drawn. I took insanely long to set this up. It's not even that precise. I was just super anxious that I would get a wrong angle and mess this up, so... Yeah, this path was surely not optimal, but... it was decent at least, given the difficulty that lies within it. Yeah, but at this point this was a guaranteed 26 if I don't take the sand cloud, which will also later on mean I won't have slow-mo for Pharaoh Tower. But that's okay. I mean, that's in the name of speed, really. 26:50. Have fun beating that at myself. To be fair, beating that should be quite easy if... yeah, big if, conditional, if I end up doing a Palace Defense cutscene skip. Nice, was low enough to skip the getting caught by the pillar. Since segmented the ancient ruins segment is so cool to do. Yeah, Robbie, mean either that or you grind. You know, speedrun, grind and practice, investing time. Or just do all the segmented threads and get 1 or 2. Because evidently you're the master of segmented threads. Doing first person, doing first fight skip, the full one in a run, it's like crazy. Oh, I clearly don't understand, sorry. I thoroughly apologize, of course. Okay, so since I'm not taking a sand cloud, this fight is to refill sands. Unless I have 0 sands, which is... I mean, it can happen, it rarely does. But if I have 0 sands here, the answer would be to kill 2 enemies. I like to retrieve 2 enemies, kill the other 2, and then take the sand cloud here, because then the sand cloud would be faster. But yeah, usually the answer is just to not get a slow-mo tank and do Pharaoh Tower without slow-mo, the airwalk. And hey, Art Killer, by the way. Yeah, but really good Ancient Ruins, so 1 minute ahead at daybreak. That's good, that's good. Yeah, the problem with sand clouds here is that the one sand cloud that is directly in your way, if you take it, you can't do the skip, which saves 5 seconds. The diagonal jump in ancient ruins, which is free, I might want to add. And the other sand cloud is the one here in Messau, but because ledges are slow, it takes quite a while to get it, sadly. So the optimum really is to just not take any cloud at all. And do it slow more or less. Easy. And go. Sadly, didn't get the super extended one, so I had to go over the ledge. But that's fine. Yeah, there I stopped for a bit. I didn't... Like, the angle didn't look like I would get the instant lever. So when I did get it, I wasn't sure what was happening. Okay, so for the previous run, the 110, most of my time save was within either the first 30 minutes or the last 20. But the mid game was quite okay. Also, I might want to say myself. Also free. Do you see that? Who needs slow-mo? What the fuck? Is this heresy? It's a nice view, honestly. Into unloaded area. I was a bit too careful there, but I mean, it worked, so whatever. Main point is that I saved the like 5 seconds here, and yeah, which is due to the fast cycle on the saw blade. I think BB I had to wait a cycle because it was a bit slower, so don't fully remember. Nice camera, by the way. Okay, so coming up is one of the bigger memes of this run. Well, big, quote unquote. Just about time, but more about the meme itself. Ah, classic. I think that happens if you hold W too long, where too long means a few frames too long or so. And then jumping, this was off to a great start. And I think I also got angled here. Oh yeah, I was like, okay, fuck off. I was so done. You get angled if you climb up too far left. I mean, I have a setup, I'm just not following it. Because, fuck the system. Anarchy. But at least, given the effort, at least I got the skip itself. Like, as soon as you're here, the skip is done. Worst thing that can happen is that you hit the cutscene or miss the loading trigger. If you don't wall on far enough, you can miss it. Oh, and sharing. Oh, that's what. Sorry. I mean, I could do that right afterwards. Right after this video ended playing, I'll just quickly show what I'm doing and highlighting, I guess. Yeah, so those 20 seconds are due to getting memed on, basically. Not too much you can do. Yeah, so the thing is, those kind of things just happen throughout a run of this game and category. That's just, you can't prevent that. Unless you grind for 10,000 hours and get the absolutely perfect run eventually, but that's not within the realm of possibility, so... So up until now, compared to my sum of best, I lost 1.5 minutes. Which you might think is quite a lot, but there were no big mistakes. There are just a few small things that add up, and that's how it is. So for this game, playing within 3 minutes of sum of best, I would say is very, very good. Perfect jump. So 3 minutes within sum of best, given the new auto splitter. Of course, the more splits you have, the more accurate your sum of best is. Yeah. So with my, I think with my old splits, I always played, or my good runs always were within 2 minutes of sum of best. I think 1.5, 2 minutes, not sure, something like that. And with the auto splitter, I think it would be 3 minutes. Which I would consider a very, very good run. Which of course, turning that around means this run is not really, really good. It's decent, for sure. But it's not what my goal time is. But more about that when the run is over, I guess. So caves all standard, business as usual. Actually, for some reason I got very good at stopping the movement, the ledge movement, as soon as I hit the loading trigger. It's like that. Go. Yeah, there's no setup, that's just intuition. And the point is, the earlier you stop, the easier this airwalk is. Because of the curvature of this cave segment, you... Or the bets just trigger later and you have more time, in some sense, to make it. Also look at this jump. Oh, perfect. Mwah. This case was really good. Dude, like removing Craggy Sam. What the fuck? Not even an emote anymore. Yeah, Craggy Sam's pretty good FFZ emote, but for some reason it's not a thing in this channel anymore. I'm not sure. Also, check this meme. Absolutely horrible angle, and I thought, yeah, let's just go for it. What a fucking idiot. Yeah, that's a good angle. More free time save. Yes, on this segment I can save almost 30 seconds. Guess how much I will end up saving on this segment. No, honestly, guess. I don't remember. I think it's like 5. I think I saved like 5 seconds. Five out of 30, that's a very good ratio. Makes me feel like the superior gamer I am. Haha. Shoutouts to meshing A, by the way. It just works. On this button, because your distance, the distance between when you jump off and the wall is so little, so small that you can't fall down. It's a weird mechanic of this game. But it makes sure that you always get the fast rope cycle. Maybe it's, I don't know, hard to describe with words. But it's fast, trust me. Not as fast as segmented, but good enough. Also, with this jump, I lately have been very bad. This was quite close to being too far left. A few attempts before that, I was too far right into the statue and died. Not sure what's going on currently. That's oh, it's also very cool, guys. Very go fuck yourself. this cool thing with hitboxes in this game. If you want to get unstuck, you have to completely stop moving, and then the game will decide that to kind of untie the collision. Because that makes sense. To be fair, it basically never happens. So maybe that's okay. It's just as I said, no run goes absolutely perfectly. That's just the nature of this game and the run and the tricks you do. Also this game. It's not always about tricks, also about memes sometimes. Yeah, very nice sense of direction, Prince. Cool thing you going the other way. The statue was quite slow, as you might be able to tell. Then again, so is everything else in this segment. Didn't get it. No. Yeah, this was absolute atrocity. Oh, sorry, it was 9 seconds. It wasn't 5, it was 9 seconds. Out of 30. Yeah, this is one of the segments which went quite poorly, which I'm not too happy about. But a lot of segments before that were really good. Took a bit long there. Also fading first person glitches backwards like a goddamn legend. So no matter the run, no matter how good your pace is or anything else, this area onwards is the moment of truth. Because this is the absolute hardest part of the run, which mostly contains of 4 tricks coming up. 4 tricks which I would name very difficult and a lot of just quote-unquote difficult stuff in there. So yeah, disregarding all of this observatory movement where if you die the run is over, funny things like that. So that's, I mean, observatory is free. I should have implemented a free counter for this stream, because I think I said it like 4 times already or so. Shoutouts to Epic Dude Guy, which inspired me to pull the lever first, because if you go back then you can have direct movement at the beam. Also, I wasn't hanging down fully to the left, so I had to correct my angle a bit. I had to look a bit further right to make it work. Also, whoever does a wall run here to the second pole is has gone absolutely mad and should get himself checked. Him or herself checked. Of course, I'm talking about nobody in particular. Here was too high, but I thought, yeah, let's just go with it. And that's sad. Nice direct movement. Is it actually impossible? To be fair, I haven't tried. So I guess it's not impossible in the literal sense, but it's very easy to do if you have the correct cue. Maybe. Guess how that's it. I mean, it's basically the same with the... Yeah, it's basically the same with the wall run after torpedo skip, where you land on the door frame and then wall run to the next pole. And there it should be even harder because you can't really see, but the leeway on grabbing a swing pole in this game is quite large, so... yeah, I guess that wall run is one of the things to implement, because the whole jump setup takes quite long. And executing the movement itself like 5 seconds lost or so, which I could easily gain. So I'll also look into that. afterwards. So now for this trick, right side is not placebo. That's what you will see now. Okay, stop rewinding now. And that was slightly too late already. As soon as he goes all the way back to the wall, you can't save it. Just die and try again. Okay, another one. 1, 2. Height was very good. Wait until the rewind timer decreases and then start. Because that makes a difference. And stop. And this position works just fine. Second try is good enough. Then again, of course, the real challenge is still coming up, and it's called Pound Tree Skip. I mean, luckily you have 1 sand. Oh, look at this movement. Oh, so cool. Luckily you have 1 sand as a kind of failsafe. And I think I needed it. I think I failed once because I was too far left or so. Yeah. I forgot that after the second jump off the wall, if you land the palm tree, you're already too high and you'll die of fall damage. So I basically cancelled the trick too late, so this one had to work. Absolutely free, dude. This trick is so easy. Free tree. Okay, so at least I made it past the segment, but of course second try rewind trick, second try palm tree makes for, I think, 45 seconds time loss, which of course it's a lot. Won't argue with that, but at least I made it past the segment in the first place. And I was still, I mean, I still for one saved time on the segment. And for second, the run is still good. Also nice camera there. Okay, I saved 12 out of 1 minute. Just happened. But being on 106 pace after this trick is, I think, not the first time, but one of the few times that ever happened. So that's cool. Also no retard jump, insane. Direct jump, insane. Getting blocked. I mean, it's a classic Ramparts at this point. Also getting that Warren over the railing, it just doesn't work. Never. I got it maybe once in a run. That's a nice gold. Ramparts was pretty good. £20 stone right into your spine, and you just stand up afterwards and you're like, that hurt a bit, but I'm fine. I'm totally okay. My whole back is not completely shattered. Ein Verlies. Wie im Palast meines Vaters. Ich habe niemals einen Fuß hineingesetzt. Nun bin ich selbst ein Gefangener auf der Suche nach einem Ausweg. I would have recited the English monologue here, but I don't know it by heart, so I can't really. I mean, I can, but it will end up in a lot of disappointment. Cringe. Cringe compilation. So, the four tricks I consider hard in this segment from observatory to tomb cutscene, basically in these 10 minutes, are prison rewind trick. It's not really hard. It can just screw you over for no reason. That's always fun. If this wouldn't have worked, I could have made it work in 4, like a double rewind trick. The prison rewind trick, observatory corridor rewind trick, palm tree, and of course elevator skip itself. Those are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse of this run. Of these 10 minutes run, not the full run. There are way more than 4 hard things over the course of this run. Shoutouts to not jumping forwards, but actually upwards here. Which, I mean, of course it's ridiculous. Who would ever jump forward? Because he's a fucking loser. Who would do that? Apocalypse, yes. It's a lesser known and less dangerous brother of Apocalypse. It's like when a glass of water spills or so, I don't know. Also went safe here and killed the bats. Because in one of the previous attempts I was too far back. So I did like 2 steps on the beam and the bats attacked me on the ladder. So I didn't have to rewind, but I was still slow, so I was too anxious at this point to go for it. Nice enemy, by the way. Kacked. Absolute cacko. All back, so it's an extended extended war run. It's very nice. One of the few times I got hit there. Oops. Good reaction. One of the few times I get hit there after the cutscene. Basically, it never happens anymore. And that's exactly the reason why I drink twice before palm tea. So I heal up to 90 health. So I can take damage here. Because Farah will take 30, the bats will take 10, I think. 5 or 10. So it's at max 40 you lose. So the remaining 50 you can invest in getting hit after the cutscene in Courtyard. Because that used to be a big problem before Hall of Learning Courtyard without enemies, as it is now. You couldn't really drink there. There was no real viable place to drink. So you had so little health that getting hit there was basically meant death. And that's another big advantage of enemy-less HLC. Elevator skip, okay. Honestly, just watch. Absolutely fucking nailed it, dude. At this point I didn't first person cancel, I didn't do anything. Because getting a run minus 2 minutes with first try elevator skip, there's just, your mind is blank, there's nothing. And I could have even been minus 3 minutes at elevator. Because I lost like 50 seconds on obvious corridor again. Because the whole place is honestly fucked up. Banned from GDQ. But getting an elevator skip first try is a quite thrilling experience. How are 54 minutes over already? I just started. Yeah, you can skip the cutscene if you enter the Konami code and then do the Jajadu dance from Arabian Nights. I think that's the key. I haven't tried it, but somebody should try it.
But you're just like the rest of them. Those soldiers.
Jajadu.
All they can do is fight,
Zoomsy.
destroy.
Oh yeah, just fast forward in VLC? Yeah. That's a good strat. I should do that. In real-time runs, just, you know, mouse wheel upwards and then it's over. The dagger was in your hand.
Hold my hand.
Why did you hesitate? So at this point I needed at least some kind of distractions. So luckily Grizz was streaming right within at this point. So I have my PC, my desktop PC on the table, and next to it I had my laptop. And because I had so much time and I didn't have to go to the bathroom, I just started Grizz's stream.
If this tomb is to be ours,
And I basically lurked until the end of the run when I came in and said,
we are
got it. World record.
What is it?
Nothing.
Yeah, but at this point I didn't want to fully focus. Got it. I didn't want to fully focus on Endgame, because I feel like if I overly focus
My mother taught me a secret word.
on this game, I play worse, and especially in Endgame,
All I had to do was speak,
that's a lethal thing to
and the
do.
magic door would open.
Of course, the run wouldn't be dead. I'm 2 minutes ahead, so at most you can lose 1 minute in Endgame. But why would I want to do that? So I was glad that Grizz was accompanying me at this point. Shout out to Grizz, although he's not here, but
Didn't you?
peace, bro.
Farah?
Kakulukia. And bye. So I tried to really take the optimal path on these infinite stairs, and I think I nailed it, but I'm not sure, honestly. It's so subtle. Fucking hell. I mean, it's nice to calm down after you get elevator skip first try, given you get it. But this is too much. This is too much of calming down. These whole 4 minutes 20... Well, even rather 4 minutes 50, if you take the next cutscene afterwards. So basically 5 minutes of calming down. I feel like that's a bit overkill, but who am I to judge? It could be better, Esko. I've never timed it. Actually, also shoutouts to Epic Dude Strats again, with the insane idea of drinking in Magical Puzzle. Hey, Esko, by the way. So yeah, given you didn't lurk, you missed all the good fun of this run. Yeah, biggest time loss was the 50 seconds in OBS Corridor and Halfling Courtyard combined. Rolling young, also a good idea. Man, we're really improving this game. It's fast. Really makes you think. Yeah, elevator was really good. Take out the swords. Did it.
Was it real? That magical cavern?
The magical cavern.
And it was a dream we
And it was a dream we both shared. I know it wasn't. Farah. Oh no. I have to kind of bring a bit of Eraser spirit into the stream since he sadly can't watch. As he told me yesterday. I don't know why, but since segmented I have the urge to mash cancel after this cutscene is over. There's not even a reason to. You don't have to do that. I just feel like. Did you kill him? I never killed Werner. You fucking AOD, what a fucking man. Our streets are not safe anymore. Alright, back to the run. So, at this point the pace is picking up again. And there's absolutely no way I'm doing this fucking cutscene skip at a -2 or 2 pace. It's not happening. We all know the trick if you have enough time. If you're not nervous, the trick is really easy, but on this kind of pace, you don't do it. Unless you're in any percent, you kind of, you know, have to do it. But at this point, it's a choice. It's a choice to save 3 seconds, I think. 4, 5, something like that. And I'm not taking it. An absolute scaredy cat. That was a very interesting war run. I'm not sure what I war ran on, but yeah, okay. So this gold here, this gold split, I deny. I personally deny that. I don't agree with that in all its entirety. But as the best possible time is still is 1:06:50. It's not really reasonable to assume I'll get that time. At this point, it's just you have too much randomness in the last fight. Also, getting an insanely fast Vizier is rare. And my goal is quite solid there, so... Yeah, at this point, a 1:07 would be a viable time to kind of aim for. And that's what I did. That's what it was. I went safe on the second ladder here. Waited so I can scare away the bats. You don't have to. You can go right away. But again, I didn't want to take the risk. Because I know it would save most of my time here anyway, so it's whatever, honestly. Also, since segment, I'm not nervous at this first person glitch anymore. I just do it. I just walk up slowly and do it. Almost get cucked by the brown enemy there. Blue guy just spawns outside, falls down. You know, a usual day in Upper Town of Dawn. Tower of Dawn. Town of Dawn? What? 10, go. Okay, mission 1. Don't absolutely screw up last fight. As you see, I can save 45 seconds there, roughly. Because in my 110, I died here. I torpedoed into the hole. Because right when I started the torpedo, the enemy repositioned. And that was enough to guide me just through the hole. Luckily, that was at the start of the fight. Or rather at the start, so... I only, quote-unquote, lost 45. It was still a PB. Farah, yes. Be a carpet. Go. Be a good little carpet and just hang in there. Like, Farah's allowed to die, but I'd prefer if she do it quicker. This is speed after all. How do I kill enemy? I thought that third enemy was frozen. Also, I hope you're ready for fence memes. Fence memes is the term I give the following situation. You want to torpedo, and there's an enemy behind the fence, but he's so far away that you think, no way the prince will try to jump over that enemy. But guess what he does? Fucking idiot. Yeah, these kind of fence memes will actually happen twice, I think. Like the first one already happened, the second one is when going outwards, I believe. Like more at the end. Yeah, like this one. Exactly. Like, what the fuck is that even? Why would you prioritize? Okay, I don't. Calm down. It's just a video game. Double memed and goal was kind of close, but it's whatever. So out of these 45 seconds, I think I saved 30 or so, which is, or 35. I mean, it's good enough, honestly. Given my last fight wasn't the best, I'll take it. Yeah, saved 30 of those. So at this point I was like, well, it's either going to happen or it's not going to happen. Quote Darbian. So just, you know, do it or don't do it. And so if you know what the final time is, you might think, how can this boss take over 2 minutes? Well, guess fucking what? You'll see if quick enough. Nice sliding out, but that's a mini-skill thing, that's whatever. That's a very quick first position. Good second. Third and fourth, he's fully out. This position is good enough to do it. Okay, so I go a bit diagonally, just to make sure that the vizier won't get stuck. That's one, I mean that happens, that's okay. I think I got out second try. Should work, yeah. Okay. And then the absolute fucking retard I am, I slow-mo on the wrong attack. I was hoping he would do it second time, like within the slow-mo. Does a step, of course he didn't. And that's how you lose 1 minute. Essentially. That's so sad. The thing is that's not even about being bad at the trick. Like there was no real flaw in gameplay I could get better at by practicing. It's just you're here on a 107 pace, you know. If you get it, you're all good, and if you don't, it'll haunt you forever. And I mean, this skip is not absolutely easy. I mean, it's doable. It's not insanely difficult either. But this last timing is quite tight, and given the nervosity, it's punishing. That's all I'm gonna say. It's punishing. Well, then again, I knew if I get this now, it's still 108. And I mean, 108. Don't get me wrong. 108 is a really good run. I think I clip out first try as well here. Yeah. Like clipping out is so easy. Trigger him. Stab. Okay. Dodge. And then he took a bit longer. I saw stab go 108.35. But of course I had to lose 1.5 minutes on the last fucking split like an idiot. That's the big prize of having such a skip at the very end of the run. So what I want to point out is that the biggest time losses obviously were Vizier, 1.5 minutes, and Observatory Corridor, 50 seconds. Other than that, of course there were a few minor things here and there, but other than that, this run was really good. Barely any mistakes. And as I said, you always lose like 2 or 3 minutes compared to some of best. That's just in the nature of this category. So yeah. Is that this bad? At this point I was writing in Gris chat, I got it 108.35 and was absolutely freaking out. Wayne, I'm tired, Murray. Shoutouts by the way to him. So after this one, I went to my bed and I straight up collapsed and was like, oh fuck. That's the one good thing at the end of. That's one good thing about Vizier Skip. All this pressure building up, which you didn't have before when fighting the Vizier. Normally, there's just nothing that can go wrong. You have all this pressure just falling off you in an instant. As soon as you hit this credits trigger, you can go all. I'm free. So this run, especially given the ending, this run in general, is, let's say, it's a way more extreme experience nowadays. But that's, I mean, why not? As soon as it works out, why not?